here, I want you to be able to see everything at the back of the sled. All right, guys. So now that you've seen the dogs, you're pretty excited to go dog sliding, right?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty weird if you weren't. Okay, so again, welcome to Snowy Owl, guys. Thank you so much for coming up and doing some dog sliding. Again, my name's Will. I'm going to be one of the guides. I'm also going to go through a driving intro with you, teach you how to drive before we let you loose on our trail. Okay, Snowy Owl do it a little bit differently compared to other companies. We let you guys drive your own sleds. I know it's crazy, right? You should already know if you're on a self-driven sled or a guided sled. If you haven't read these emails, this might be a little bit of a surprise. So make sure you are listening and watching during the intro, because you never know when you're going to be on the back doing some driving. Okay, even if you are on with a guide, we love it when you guys drive with us. It's funner for you guys. It's easier for us. Okay. So the way we work it is we have a guide sled and 2 customer sleds behind them. If you're on with a guide, you can drive at any point during the trip. If you're a self-driven sled, the first half of the trail is single drivers only. Okay? We then get to a halfway point, have a little bit of a break, take some photos. Then we're going to do a driver change. If there's more than 2 of you in the self-driven sled, you can drive tandem on the way back. If there's only 2 of you, you can just swap over. We always need someone in the sled. When there's no one in the sled, these get very tippy. Okay? So what I'll do in the intro is talk about the parts of the sled you need to know about, the commands we use to drive our teams, a little bit on single and tandem driving, and then finish off, we'll just talk about how we go down the trail, a little bit of trail etiquette. Okay? So these are our sleds just here. Okay? At the top of the sled, you have the handlebar. This is the most important part of the sled. And with that goes our most important rule of dog sledding. Do not let go. I'm gonna say it again, because it amazes us at how bad you are at this. Don't let go of this sled, guys. These dogs are very aware that you have no idea what you're doing. Okay? I try and mess with you. Where do you think they get their entertainment from? Let's say we're on the back of the sled. We gotta fix that hat. We gotta take that selfie. They pull and you fall off. I guarantee there's no catching up with the sled.
Right.
It's the only time it can become dangerous for our dogs, because there's now no one here to stop the sled. And when they stop, which they will, they're going to get a sled crashing into the back of it. So respect our dogs. Respect our first rule. Just don't let go. Guarantee on all the photos you guys are going to be like this. These are the runners. These are what you're going to be standing on. Nice grippy pads on them. Single drivers, 1 foot each side. Tandem drivers, you'll have 1 each. But I'll get onto that when I talk about tandem driving. This is our brake. Again, I'll get onto that later on. This medieval looking device. Ooh. This is your snow hook. We use this as a parking brake. The guide will put this in. The guide will take it out. What I'm getting at here is you have no reason to touch this. As you drive along, it's just going to sit right there. Okay? When it is in the snow, guys, this is a bad place to stand. I'm just going to leave it at that. Right, they can pull this out. So always walk around it. Okay? On the other side, we have a bit of climbing rope. That's just going to drag alongside next to your sled. We use that to tie the teams off. The only time I can have no one on the back of the sled is if you have a hook in and the rope tied off. All the other times, one person standing on the back. Okay? So, we have a bunch of dogs. We have a bunch of commands to let them know what's happening. Okay? Whenever you're talking to your dogs, you're talking to your 2 lead dogs. They're the brains of the operation. We'll let you know all the dogs' names. We'll try and remember those 2 up at the front. So on this team, I have Chanel on the right, and I have Prince next to her. Okay? So I'm standing on the back of my sled. I'm holding on. I'm ready to go. What's my command to get my team going? Hike. Oh, someone said hike. Nice. Someone said mush. Okay? Mush is a myth made up by Hollywood. Don't worry, everyone always says it. Okay? We are mushers, and mushing is our sport. Okay? You got it right. Hike. Okay, like you're going for a hike. Whenever you say any of the commands to the dogs, they're feeding off the energy you put into these commands. Hike should be said with excitement, enthusiasm. If you're on the back of your sled like hike, they're not going to really want to go for you. So when you're ready to go, you're going to shout your lead dog, Chanel, Prince, hike! Works pretty sweet, right? So they all know the routine. They know it's not time to go. But don't let this fool you. When we start unhooking them, they're going to get pretty riled up. Okay, there's no time like go time. So whenever you shout hike, You're on the sled, you're holding on. Hike is also just the command to go. It is not the command to speed your team up. Every single day we hear echoing down our trail. Hike, 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 hike. All you're doing is annoying them. They're already going, okay? If you want to keep your dogs going at a good pace, all you need to do is motivate them. From the day they come into our kennel to the day they leave, we treat them with nothing but love and respect. We want you guys to treat our dogs the exact same way. So as soon as they get going, or as soon as they respond to any of the commands you're calling, praise them. Shout whatever you want. Just sound happy, okay? As soon as I get going, good dogs, woo, good pups. Again, if you're on the back of the sled like, woo, good dogs, you're gonna find that that sled in front of you is getting further and further away. Okay, you got a question? What is it? Sorry?
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about that. You don't need to worry about that. That's a whole different thing. It means they're in heat. Okay, so we know how to go. We know how to keep going. We now need to know how to stop. Okay, this is one of the most important things, and one of the things you guys always get wrong. Okay, this is our brake. It's weight activated. There's a reason we take your weights. Okay, we want the dogs to be able to pull you. We also want you guys to be able to stop them. We're obviously not going to give all our biggest, belliest dogs to the smallest people on the trip. Okay, so let's say we're cruising along. Single driver, I need to stop. I'm going to jump 2 feet onto the brake. When I say jump, I literally mean jump straight on. At the same time, you're going to call at your dogs. Whoa! Nice and loud, nice and relaxed. They'll go down the trail like, whoa! All right, they'll mess with you, okay? So 2 feet, you're gonna come to a stop. Once you come to a stop, don't step off the brake. Our dogs don't go into park, okay? They wanna keep going. So you stay on that brake. When you're ready to go, step to the side, nice big loud hike. If this happens and your brake gets stuck in the snow, kick it up, okay? Perfect. Reasons we stop on the trail. The biggest reason is these guys are going to go to the toilet. It's not in the brochure, but it happens. All right? If they're peeing, they're going to keep running. They're going for the other one. They're going to try and stop. We've all seen a pooping dog before. They're going to make it real obvious. So let's say we're cruising along. Big Gomez at the back here slams the brakes on. Brown rays of sunshine start flying out the back. What do you reckon all the other dogs are going to do for him on that team? They're allowed to howl, they're not allowed to bark. Okay guys, so any of the dogs put the brakes on to stop to go to the toilet. The other dogs will not stop for them. They're not going to stop and have a 6-dog poo break. Okay, if it happens, take a photo. We've never seen it. All right? Now Paul Gomez is being pulled by his neckline as he tries to stop. If any of you see your dog stopping to go to the toilet, stop your sled, let them do their thing, then keep going. The other reason we stop is to let you know what's happening on the trail. Big downhills, tight corners. Whenever you stop right behind the sled in front of you. You can hear how loud it gets. If you're 100 meters back, you won't be able to hear us, okay? On the trail as well, we have uphills and downhills. When you get to the first uphill, your dogs are gonna slow. It's harder for them to pull you up the hills. They're gonna turn and look at you. What do you think they're looking for?
Commands?
Help, okay? If you're inside the sled, you're along for the ride. If you're on the back, you're part of the team. The dogs are fully aware of this. There's 2 ways you can help your dogs. All of your guides, every hill, we step off, keep a hand on the handlebar, and we jog up the hills, okay? We don't push the sled, we just take our weight off. I just saw a bunch of your faces drop there. Physical exercise, right? Okay? So this is the best way to help your dogs. If you step off and think that is not for me, or maybe your dogs are even going too fast, there's another way you can help. Foot in the middle, big pushes, okay? Drive that sled up the hill. Okay? Work hard for them, they'll work hard for you. We get to the top, we get our reward. We get to go down the hill. The dogs love it. They run faster, they run harder. This is not the time to tuck up and go as fast as you can. The sled will always go faster than the dogs. So as we go down hills, we have to slow our sled down. 1 foot in the middle, pushing down. That'll keep your sled at a good speed. You're also gonna call at your dogs. Easy. Easy. Nice and relaxed. Don't go down the hills like, easy! Okay? On the brake, pushing down. You will know if you're going too fast by looking at these black lines they're attached to. These are gang lines. These are what they pull with. Whenever we are on the trail, we have tight lines. If your lines are all slack, you're catching up with your dogs. Okay? Last thing with the sled, we got twists and turns. Sled doesn't have a steering wheel. You guys are the steering wheels. So single drivers. If I want to turn right, I lean right. If I want to turn left, I lean left. Okay? So let's say I'm doing a left turn. I'm going to lean out. I'm going to pull the handlebars towards me. My right foot can go on the brake. Okay? If I'm going right, I lean out, pull the handlebars. My left foot can go on the brake. Okay? You have to lean. If you don't lean, it won't turn. Okay? All happy with that, team?
Yeah.
Tandem driving, I'm going to go through this quick because it's all the same. Okay? None of the commands change. You have one of these each. You will feel better facing in to the other person. Front foot forwards, back foot sideways. Okay? The back foot does all the braking. So if there's another person on the other side, if we want to stop, we put 1 foot each on the brake. If we want to slow down, one person, foot on the brake. For turning, if I'm on the left, I lean for the left turns. If I'm on the right, I lean right for the right turns. You can kind of get it why we don't want you to lean the same way, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. If you lean the same way, you're going to get technical issues, all right? If the sled does ever tip over, it's super rare. But if it does happen, if you are the driver, what's the first rule I gave you? Don't let go. If you can keep hold of this, you're a hero in our eyes. 9 times out of 10, you're going to let go. That's fine. Dust yourself off, walk back to your sled. If you're inside the sled and it tips over, enjoy the ride. All right?
That'll be me.
The dogs do not like pulling a sled on its side. They got to stop real quick. If you're in the sled, don't get out. You've just taken all the weight away from the sled. If you're the driver, don't get back to your sled and tip it up. They'll just go. Wait for a guide to come back and help you. Okay? Happy with that, guys?
Yeah.
All right, so sled number 1 is all the way at the front. Sled number 12 is all the way at the back. I feel like I can trust you guys to count from 1 to 12. Okay? When you get to your sled, there might not be a guide waiting there. Okay? Let a guide help you in and out of the sled. These wires are not weight bearing. If they snap, it's a pain. All right? So let a guide help you in and out. All right? So, we're going to do a quick recap of the commands, just so I'm happy with that.